Yeah, I guess it's time, isn't it? You ever feel like time, like try to remember yesterday? Do you remember it? Um, okay, yesterday's kind of a bad example, but like last week, last month, last year. Now, you know it happened, and it did happen, and it's now a memory. But the pains, the thoughts, the problems, the trouble, the joys, they're all gone. They don't mean anything. I mean, I don't remember. I think some of this has to do with the fact that I have kids and like all the yelling and screaming and playing and jumping and crying. All that stuff has a way of like erasing your mind. I remember now, I know why now my dad was like, I'd be like, hey dad, hey dad, hey dad, hey dad, dad, hey dad, hey dad, hey dad. And he'd just be driving. You could not bust that guy. You could not get his attention. And I find myself not doing it on purpose, but like still doing that with like my little girls. Like, hey dad, look at this. Hey dad, look. And I'm like, I'm not even, it's not on purpose to like purposefully ignore, but the sounds they make like erase your head. I can't explain it any other way than that. Like literally you get in the zone of like blocking things out. And I remember my dad being that way. And my brother and I were brutal, man. We would fight each other like WWF style, top of the couch, like elbow drops. Yeah. You did that too hard. My heart, I'm gonna die. I gotta go to the hospital. Like just brutal fights. My dad just had to silence all of it. Had to order a couple coffees. I'm in a drive-thru. Quick pause. It's a good way to edit. You can just pause, do something else, pause, go look up scripture, pause, drive. Cop, whoop, pause. Anyway, okay, so one thing that's cool about it is when Jesus talks about how he'll wipe away all tears in heaven. I feel like heaven, when we will have all of our memories, all. I used to think, man, he's going to wipe away tears. Are we going to remember all the bad stuff, like all the bad things that have happened to people? You know, there's a lot of, I have been probably one of the luckiest, most blessed little kid, and now into adulthood, who still feels like a little kid in the world. But there's a lot of people who are Jesus's children who have had horrific experiences here on earth. But time, even them, if they're honest, yeah, there's like lasting. I'm not really talking about ones that have lasting problems from horribly horrific torture and stuff like that happened to people as children and stuff. It can change their whole person forever, damaged for a long time. But many of them, even if they're, they will the pain leaves, is what I'm trying to say. Time heals. And while the memories can sting still, there's something about that time passing that when you look back, it's distant. It's almost like it didn't exist. If I look back and I think, I've been to all these baseball games, I've been to all these baseball stadiums, football games, memories, great times. But you wake up, it's 5-10 years later now, and it's like, I don't know, it happened, yeah, all that stuff, but now it's like, I'm trying to paint the picture that we will have all our memories, but the pain and the sorrow of the earthly life will not be there. And a good example of that is try to remember your distant past. And it typically doesn't bring up pain. There are circumstances where it does. Now I think about it. Dang, I should have kept that on record. It was so funny. I went on the drive-thru, and I've never said this before. It's really funny. She goes, okay, $13.11 for you. And I went, oh, okay, yeah, here you go. How much is it for you? There's a little bit of your heart each time, each cup of coffee. $13.11 for you. Okay, how much is it for you? I love messing with drive-thru people.